Alright guys, it looks like we're going to be getting a little bit of a later start than I would have liked to today. But at least the rain has stopped. So let's hit the road. Let's go find a smuggler's cave. There's that waterfall again from one of my previous videos. We are going to be driving towards those mountains out there. We might get rained on. Might get rained on a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. Whoa. Well, as we're approaching the mountains, it looks like the temperature has gone down quite a bit. Yeah. I wonder how much colder it's going to get as we get a little bit higher in elevation. So every year out here, there is always a semi-truck that gets stuck on this road. This road narrows down significantly, and it's no place for a big truck to go. If you're a truck driver, reroute around this area. Don't go through here. But as we're approaching the mountain, it's starting to get a little bit foggy up here. You can start to see the mist on the road. Fair warning. Whoa. Check that out. Holy cow. Let's take a cruise through the Notch. I've been through here a few times, but these turns always sneak up on me. Right around. I've actually come through here in the Trans Am in an early video of mine, and let me tell you, it is gnarly. Hey, here's a cool stone plaque I found. At this site on January 9th, 1983, Vermont Route 108 was officially dedicated as the 10th Mountain Division World War II Memorial Highway. Men of the United States ski troops trained in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, served in the Aleutian Islands, and led the Allied armies to victory in Italy in 1945 through the Apennines Mountains into the Alps. Oh guys, take a look up there. It is the 30th of May, and there is still snow on that mountain. And we're here, guys. Alright guys, we're going to start exploring this area here. Might I add, it is pretty darn cold out here. Yeah, I think it's probably down about 40 degrees. Alright, well guys, here we are. Around here is where the Smugglers Caves are. So they're full of water. There's water coming out everywhere. So we're gonna take a quick look around. Let's see what we can find and try not to get too wet. Danger, you are in a hazardous active rock slide area. Large boulders and rocks may fall from the slopes above at any time without warning. Well, that's nice. So as we're hiking up this trail that's getting aggressively vertical right now, I'll tell you a little bit about how this place was formed. So the mountains themselves were part of a shallow inland sea, and they eventually got pushed up into what became the Green Mountains about 400 million years ago. The Notch, the place that we're at right now, this was formed during the last ice age melt about 12,000 years ago. And that's where we get all of these boulders. Huh, where's this trail going now? I think we're going this way. So, the Smuggler caves that we're going to find, they're not created by hydraulic action or, you know, like volcanic action in different parts of the world where you have tubular caves. The caves here seem to be a result of just boulders crashing over each other and creating structures that way. So, different way to make a cave, but a cave nonetheless. It's enclosures made by rocks. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go find. Man, look at that up there. Holy cow. Whew. So as the glacier retreated, the meltwaters, they just pushed all these huge boulders downhill, and where these boulders ended up accumulating is where those caves were formed. So that's how this came to be. Now, in limestone caves that you see a lot in the Northeast, it's a much simpler process. It's water running through limestone, through cracks in it. Those cracks get larger and larger and larger. Caves get formed. Boy, I do not know where this trail is going. I'm glad that it's still springtime here when the trees are still somewhat bare, and it is a little bit easier to see the trail now. And I could imagine that if the vegetation was any more significant, it would be that much harder. So, yeah, I'll count my blessings, I guess. I'm assuming the trail is running up that way. It looks kind of trail-like, but I'm not seeing any trail markers for it. I missed the trail completely. the trail does a switchback. I went climbing. Somewhere is completely separate from the trail. We're good now. One thing I will note is that there is a lot of quartz everywhere. Everywhere around here. Not an established trail. Falling rocks, slides, unstable surfaces, wet boulders. So travel at your own risk. Got it. Wow, look at the size of that quartz. That guy's a monster. Alright guys, I believe we are at Smuggler's Cave. Well, this sure seems like what it is they're talking about. Here we are, Smuggler's Cave. Well, if it's nothing if not peaceful. Plenty of light in here. But as you can see, unlike other caves that are carved out by water action, the water action that carved out this cave, or made this cave I should say, was water up on higher elevations breaking down the boulders, and the boulders with gravity is coming downhill and toppling all over each other, creating structures. Now, if I were a man living 200 years ago and I was in the smuggling business and I needed someplace to shelter up or stash my goods, this doesn't look like a half bad spot. It's a natural structure, it's definitely out of the way, and yeah, unless you knew it was here, you wouldn't be able to find it. Take a look at how these tree roots grew all over these rocks. It's amazing. Wow. So as I'm sitting here looking to find a nice place to go and have some breakfast, I noticed all of these quartz inclusion in the rocks around the cave. Take a look at that. Take a look at how big those are. Wow. It's crazy. Alright, looks like this spot's gonna have to do. Alright, breakfast. Alright, what are we having? We're having menu 2, beef shredded in barbecue sauce. We're gonna actually do the entree today. It's kind of cold, so it'd be kind of nice to warm it up with one of the heater packs. So that's what we're doing. Alright, this guy's been cooking for a few minutes. I'm going to assume it's pretty much ready to go. And we'll have a little taste test. So in addition to the delicacy that is shredded beef and barbecue sauce, we also have black beans in seasoned sauce, which I ended up adding to the mix. Doesn't that look delicious? I was correct. It is delicious. Alright, so I ended up migrating uphill. I was tired of getting dripped on in the cave. So I'm a little bit higher in elevation now. The cave is down that way to off of your left, my right eye, right over there. So I'm a little bit higher up and away from the water. But check out that little pool I found. I'm not going to drink from it, but still kind of cool to see. So why were people smuggling through Smugglers Notch here in Vermont? Well, apparently in the early 1800s, President Jefferson created an embargo with Canada, and as a result of that embargo, the there was no trade, and the nearest trading port for Vermonters was Montreal, which is I don't know, maybe 30-40 miles to the north. Now, Montreal being the closest trade port for Vermont, it put people in a bind here. Well, people needed to make money, and people needed goods and services. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to create a black market, and that's exactly what happened. So goods were traded down through Smugglers Notch and up through Canada, and that's what people had to do. The shredded beef is still delicious, by the way. A little bit of a breeze now, and all the trees are spraying their water down on me from over here. Per usual, guys, I'm a small YouTube channel, and as such, I don't get any traction on my channel. So if you would be so kind as to like, comment, and subscribe, leave me some words of encouragement down in the comments section. If you have any ideas of places that I should go and explore or investigate in the northeast of the United States, let me know, and I'll put it on my agenda. So until next time, I'll see you guys around.